Welcome to Must See Movies Crime Drama Edition. I'm Taylor Ritchie. Our first review is for the movie The Drop. Let's take a look at the trailer.
All right, gentlemen, these are on the house.
Thank you. Cousin Marv, thanks for the drink, huh?
Thanks a lot, Marv. In Brooklyn, money changes hands all night long. And it's not the kind of money that you can deposit in a bank.
You handle the drop.
But all that money needs to end up somewhere. They call it a drop bar. You just hide the entire city's dirty money right in plain sight.
All your money in the bag.
Do you know what you're doing? Do you know whose money you're jacking?
You don't see anything? Nah, you know, that's this neighborhood, right?
I heard that Cousin Marv doesn't own the bar. Some hard guys do. You're not a hard guy.
Yeah, we had a crew back in the day when we was young. And Marv, he thought he was a tough guy. Then the neighborhood changed. It wasn't enough to be tough no more. You know, you had to be mean.
You know this guy?
No.
Find my money. Find my money.
You need to see this, Marv.
No, I don't need to see what's in that bag.
No, don't look at that. Don't look at it.
You're still in the life.
No. No, I just tend the bar.
You ever go around to the front of the bar and take a look at the names on the sign? Oh, that's my name, because I used to own it once.
They pressed, you blinked, it's over. It's been over for a while now. I'm not this, and I'm not them.
Where is your cousin Marv?
Sit down.
No.
When I walked into a place people sat up straight, they noticed. I was respected. I was feared. And that meant something.
Are you doing something desperate? Are you doing something that we can't clean up this time? There's some sins that you commit that you can't come back from.
Reviewing our first film with me today is Anthony Seda from LaSalle College. So Anthony, what did you think of the film?
I thought the film was overall great. I thought the story of it was my favorite part of it. I think that, it starts out in this gloomy New York winter background, two family members, and they just come out at this drop bar that they own as a family, and people are bringing all their dirty money from everywhere, left and right, and they're holding it for. They don't even know who they're holding it for, so they don't know what could happen. They don't know what happened to it before it even got there. And I just think the whole story of Tom Hardy and his adventures throughout this whole movie just makes it all come full circle.
And what do you think of Tom Hardy's role in this movie?
I thought Tom Hardy's role really also came full circle as well as the story did. You know, he starts out the movie just big, bad, tough guy. You know, nobody messes with him, and then he's kind of gains a soft side. He realizes, being bad isn't really what it's all about, and he meets other people who are nice and people who are friendly, and it just completely changes him and the way that he looks out towards what he does.
And what do you think of the supporting cast?
I did not really like the supporting cast very much. I mean, James Gandolfini is a very recognizable actor from Sopranos and everything, but I just thought his role was just the same as what he plays in every other role that he has. Just Italian mobster from New York. He's got the beautiful accent, just spot on. And I mean, it just gets old after a while. I think that they could find another actor, coming up actor, who could play the same role as him just as well, maybe if not better than he could.
I totally agree. I feel like this is the same character he played in The Sopranos for so many years. And how do you think the movie portrays evil?
I think the movie portrays evil very well. I think that, Tom Hardy, for example, is a perfect example. He starts out the movie, he's just, nobody wants to mess with him, big and bad, tough. And then he comes along and, just the way his evil changes. He starts out big, bad, tough evil, and then he turns into a more, mechanical and technical kind of evil, where his madness is all inside of his head rather than outside and physically being evil, which is a whole different aspect of it that people, watching the movie for the first time really wouldn't understand. But watching it again and again, you really understand that he's more of a mental madness rather than a physical madness.
And without giving anything away, were you surprised by the ending?
Not really. I was not really surprised by the ending. I believed that it came from, that whole story of the money being dropped, and I don't know. I don't really want to give it away, but the people from the outside end up getting what they want.
And here are the final scores on the first film of today's program. We both gave the movie a 9.
Yeah, I thought a 9 was a really good score for this movie. It was a great film overall.
Anthony, thank you for co-hosting this segment with me. I enjoyed your company. We'll be right back with more must-see reviews right after this commercial break. Don't go away. The MSPCA Boston Adoption Center is a brilliant organization that works to provide the best possible home for animals in need. One of the many animals looking for a new home is this lovable boy, Red. Red is an 11-month-old pit bull who was looking for a new home. His most recent owner was not able to give him the time and attention that he deserves. Currently, the MSPCA Boston Adoption Center takes care of thousands of animals per year. The mission of the MSPCA and the Angel Animal Medical Center is to protect animals, relieve suffering, advance health and welfare, prevent cruelty, and to work for a just and compassionate society. The MSPCA is a nonprofit charity organization that relies solely on generous donations from the public. If you do not have funds to donate, that is not a problem. There are plenty of other ways to help the Adoption Center by volunteering and donating much-needed items. For more information, you can visit the MSPCA Adoption Center in South Boston. For over 50 years, the YMCA's Camp Gorham has been a staple of the Adirondack Mountain experience. Camp Gorham is a proud member of the American Camps Association, which recognizes the highest standards of program quality. Not to mention the arts and crafts, where campers can make replicas of the area's local animals, just like the eastern moose. Sitting on top of 1,500 acres of the west central Adirondacks, campers can enjoy a variety of activities like horseback riding or swimming. The brand new dining hall sits 500, and tasty treats are always on the menu. Register now for summer sessions at www.campgorham.org. Come see why Gorham will always be your home away from home. LaSalle's Service Learning Program has been conducting programs all over the world. We call it LaSalle Says Thank You. Since 2003, our student volunteers have organized dozens of trips in coordination with various charities. Our own students have helped to aid the homeless, clean up public areas, and more recently, work to rebuild communities. One recent trip saw students out to New Jersey, where they aided in construction shoreline of houses for those whose homes were destroyed. And our Shoulder to Shoulder Abroad programs help extend our outreach all over the world. Locations have included Vietnam, Ecuador, and Tanzania, among others. These opportunities not only benefit the world at large, but our students as well. Each Shoulder to Shoulder trip is a substantial linked credit opportunity. That's just another example of how connected learning can work for our community. LaSalle says thank you. Dyslexia is a learning disability that affects over 40 million American children and adults. At the Paul Rabel Foundation, they are trying to help people with dyslexia through the sport of lacrosse. They have partnered with the Lab School in Washington, D.C., and helped create a men's and women's varsity lacrosse program. Since their inception, the Paul Rabel Foundation has distributed 62 scholarships to students with dyslexia. These students have gone on to do great things both in the classroom and the lacrosse field. To help these students still strive to do great things, you can give a stick, provide gear, or help build a scholarship. You can visit the Paul Rabel Foundation at www.paulrabelfoundation.org. The Paul Rabel Foundation, shaping lives through sports. Welcome back to Must See Movies Crime Drama Edition. I'm Taylor Ritchie. Our second review is for the movie Catch Me If You Can. Let's preview the trailer.
Welcome to Miami Mutual Bank. How may I help you?
I'd like to
cash this check here, and then I'd like to take you out for a steak dinner.
Are you a real live pilot?
I sure am, little lady.
The jump seat is open.
It's been a while since I've done this. Which one's the jump seat again?
Dr. Connors to the ER. Dr. Connors to the ER.
This is irrefutable evidence that the defendant is lying.
Special Agent Hanratty, FBI.
Hello, Carl.
You're gonna get caught. It's like Vegas. The house always wins.
Some nuts flying around the country posing as a pilot. Call him the James Bond of the sky.
Hello, Pusher. This is by far the best date I have ever been on.
He's a kid. That's why he doesn't have a record.
30 milligrams of codeine every 4 hours. Do you concur?
I concur.
Dr. Harris,
Yes?
do you concur with
What, sir? Ma'am, I'm sorry to have to tell you, your son is forging checks.
I have a payroll check here I'd like to cash.
I'm working part-time at the church now. Just tell me how much yours and I'll pay you back.
$1.3 million.
I'll be choosing 8 young ladies to be a part of Pan Am's future stewardess program.
South America, Australia, Singapore. These are so perfect, the bank doesn't even know the difference. What do you want?
To apologize.
You didn't call to apologize, did you? You have no one else to call. I'm looking for your son.
I would never give up my son. If you were a father, you'd know.
Stop chasing me.
I can't stop. It's my job.
You see these people staring at you? They keep peeking over their shoulders, wondering where you're going tonight. Where you going, Frank?
Don't tell me not to fly, I've simply got to. If someone takes a spill, it's me and not you. Don't bring around a cloud of terrain on my parade.
Sir, we're gonna let him get away.
No, Carl, you let him get away.
Nobody had a better rain on my Merry Christmas parade.
I'm getting close, huh? You will go to prison.
You're gonna have to catch me.
My guest for our second film review is Alyssa Adams from LaSalle College. Alyssa, what are your thoughts on the film?
I thought the movie was great. I'm a huge Leonardo DiCaprio fan, so I definitely thought he played a great role. I feel like any movie that he's in, it's always such a great film.
I agree. And what did you think of the plot of this film?
I thought the plot was really good. I didn't know until the end of the movie that it was a true story. I didn't watch the trailer before I watched the movie, so I kind of missed that part. But I thought it was really cool how well they depicted the true story factor.
I agree. And there's so many great actors in this film. I mean, even besides Leo, there's Tom Hanks, there's Christopher Walken, there's Jennifer Garner. Who was your favorite actor, and what did you think of the other actors?
Leo was definitely my favorite, but I also like Tom Hanks. He always plays a great supporting role for all of his movies. The first movie I think I ever watched with him was Castaway, so it's definitely one of my other favorite actors.
And what did you think about the character that Leo played, Frank Abagnale Jr.?
The fact that I don't even think he was 19 in real life. The kid wasn't even 19, and he kept the FBI on a chase for so long, and flew all over the world. He was a doctor, a lawyer, a air pilot. He did literally anything that he wanted to do, and he was like 17.
And what did you think about Frank's love interest, who was played by Jennifer Garner?
I thought it was interesting how each place he went, every time he changed his career, he had a new love interest. Like that was his pinpoint. Like he knew if he could get the girl to believe him, I felt like he knew that he was going to be good. So when he was going to marry the lawyer's daughter, he ended up going to law school and passing the boards and became a lawyer out of nowhere. I thought it was crazy how they didn't even check like identification. Like he just kept changing all of his identifications, his checks. He would just take them and cash them. He would how do you make fake checks?
And what was your favorite scene in the movie?
My favorite scene, I don't know. I don't think I really had a favorite scene. I just liked the whole movie. I definitely wouldn't be able to pick a favorite.
And now our final scores on the second film under review today. I gave the film an 8.
And I gave the film a 9.
Alyssa, thanks for stopping by and helping me review this film. It's been a pleasure. Stay right here. We've got one more review that you don't want to miss coming up after the break. Everyone deserves to have a loyal best friend who is always excited to see them. You can easily make a new best friend by adding a lovable pet to your life through the MSPCA Angel Center. By becoming a pet owner, you instantly enhance your life and make a huge difference in an animal's life. Not only do you get to take care of something you love, but you also have a new buddy. You can eat together, go on walks together, and you always have someone to hang out with. Adopt a dog from the MSPCA. As they say, a dog is a man or woman's best friend. Or if dogs aren't exactly what you're looking for, the MSPCA has numerous types of adoptable animals. Cats, rabbits, and horses are just a few others that are waiting to be welcomed into a new home. Adoption centers are located in Boston, Methuen, and Cape Cod. You can check out mspca.org for more information about the MSPCA adoption centers. 24 hours, one game, one goal. Shootout for Soldiers offers the opportunity for lacrosse players of all ages to play for a good cause. Founded in 2012, Shootout for Soldiers has raised $512,000 in its first 3 years. These funds have gone to the Wounded Warrior Project, which has helped us expand to 5 more cities in 2016. Without the men and women of our armed forces, we wouldn't be able to enjoy our sport of lacrosse. Due to the tremendous success and amazing volunteer outreach, we will now offer a 24-hour simultaneous women's game. Men's and women's lacrosse players ages 10 and up, including active duty soldiers and veterans, are welcome. For more information about Shootout to Soldiers, go to www.shootoutforsoldiers.com to see when we will be in a city near you. If you have a child that is motivated to learn and you live in the Boston area, the Stepping Stone Foundation can help your child all the way to college graduation. Founded in 1990, the Stepping Stone Foundation has helped underrepresented children reach their highest potential. The program's mission is to help children and young adults achieve endless educational opportunities and college success. In Boston, fewer than 20% of high school graduates complete a 4-year college degree. Stepping Stone's goal is to change that statistic by encouraging students through their rigorous programs. The foundation serves more than 1,600 scholars, ranging from ages 10 to 24. Scholars attend public, Catholic, and exam schools in Boston and study at public and private colleges across the U.S. 99% of students graduate high school and 92% enroll in college. To learn more or to apply, visit tsf.org/apply. When 5-year-old Andrew Swenson was living in the hospital during his bone marrow transplant, he noticed some of his friends didn't have their families around because both parents had to work in order to pay the bills. He asked his uncle if he could help some of his friends in the hospital, and this began Andrew's Helpful Hands. Andrew's Helpful Hands helps Massachusetts families pay their rent and mortgages while their child is going through the bone marrow transplant process and works to enlist more bone marrow donors for families who don't have a match. Andrew's Helpful Hands works to help families to be able to focus and love their child during treatment. Bone marrow is used for the stem cells found to create new cells in the body. A transplant can save a life. To learn more or to help a family going through the bone marrow transplant process, visit www.andrewshelpfulhands.com. You're watching Must See Movies Crime Drama Edition. I'm Taylor Ritchie. Our last review is for the movie The Prisoners. Let's first watch the trailer.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Anna, wait until we're invited.
Oh, for God's sake, Keller, get the hell in here.
What?
He actually sings in the shower. It's a whole
I do not.
Yes, you do.
Can I take Joy to our house?
And wear a hat, please. You're just getting over a cold.
Joe, you wear a hat too.
Where are your sisters?
I can't find them.
Anna? Joy?
Wait, I checked the entire house. They're not here.
Dad, there was this RV, and they were playing on it. We thought there was someone inside.
You wait here. Let me go.
I couldn't find them!
Detective Loki.
Do you have children, Detective?
I'm gonna find your daughter.
Show me your hands right now!
You put those girls somewhere, Alex.
No.
I know you put those girls somewhere.
He stays in custody until my daughter's found, right?
We have a 48-hour hold on. It ends tomorrow unless we bring charges.
We'll charge him with something.
That boy has never been in trouble, not a day in his life.
Well, this thing's clean. I'd start looking in the woods by the rest stop.
The police said they're letting him go today.
What you doing? Tell me! Oh, no, no, no!
Day 6. And every day, she's wondering why I'm not there.
You told us that you could protect us from everything.
Why did you look for my daughter?
Alex.
What in the world did you do?
Someone has to make him talk, or they're gonna die.
We're not gonna help Keller, but we won't stop him either. Let him do what he needs to.
I know you know where they are.
Where's my daughter?
Reviewing our last film with me today is Nicholas Seamus from LaSalle College. Nicholas, tell us your thoughts on the film.
Well, I really liked the film. It was one of my favorites. It's about Hugh Jackman plays a father who gets his daughters kidnapped, and he goes looking for revenge in all the wrong places, and Jake Gyllenhaal he plays a cop, and he has to go and solve it.
And do you think the trailer foreshadows the movie accurately?
Yeah, I think it does. I think the trailer it doesn't give away all the twists and turns that are in the movie, but it kind of gives a big overall picture just of the setup that these two daughters have been taken, and Jake Gyllenhaal playing the cop, Detective Loki, has to go and find them. And Hugh Jackman is just the father who's really upset and looking for someone to blame and trying to find his daughters as quick as he can.
Now, is he your favorite character, or is there someone else?
Hugh Jackman did play a really good performance. I mean, you feel like he totally went through something similar to this because just the raw energy he gives off during the movie. But Detective Loki, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, I know I watched an interview with him, and he went over a lot of backstory with the director about how to play this character. I know he has a lot of tattoos that he covers up. He has one on his neck, and he buttons his shirt all the way up. And they never really go over it, but it's just subtle, foreshadowing to give away his character.
And what was your favorite scene in the movie?
My favorite scene, I think it was, not to give away anything, but when Hugh Jackman figures out, he thinks who kidnapped his daughter, he goes after them and he just lays into them. And it's so brutal to watch, but it just had me on the edge of my seat the whole time.
And do you think the movie wrapped up well?
Yeah, I think it wrapped up well. There's a little bit of a cliffhanger, but everything ties together really nicely, and I feel like the whole story just comes together, and it kind of just works.
And do you think there's a distinct hero in this film?
The closest you can get to a hero is probably Detective Loki, because he is the one playing by the rules, or trying to. He hasn't really lost a case up to this point, and this is the one that really tries him. And he loses his temper, just like Hugh Jackman. He kind of smashes his keyboard. But I definitely wouldn't say the father is the hero because of all the just nasty stuff that he does throughout the movie.
Absolutely.
So I think it's got to be the cop.
And is there anything you would change about the movie?
I went into it expecting a brutal crime drama, and that's exactly what I got. There wasn't really anything wrong with it. I think it was what it could be.
Now let's take a look at our final scores for our last film of the broadcast. I gave the movie an 8.
I gave it a solid 10. I really loved it. There wasn't really anything I had to say wrong about it.
Nicholas, I appreciate your help with today's show and hope you can join me again sometime. And thank you for watching Must See Movies. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next time. In the 21st century, diabetes has become a major problem for citizens living in the United States as well as the rest of the world. After the past decade, it has only gotten worse, impacting family upon family with each passing year. In order to fight and make Americans aware of the problems created by diabetes, the American Diabetes Association was born. At our organization, we strive to teach people about diabetes so they can learn about the effects it has on the people it impacts every day. To help support our nonprofit organization, American citizens can donate money to help fund our organization in our search to find a cure for diabetes. If you would like to learn more, please take your time to visit our website at www.diabetes.org. With your support, we can work together to fight the effects of diabetes and eventually find a cure so no one has to suffer from the harmful effects it creates. Massachusetts is currently in the 40th percentile when it comes to recycling. With organizations such as Mass Recycle, we can work to become a much greener state. There is currently a running shortage of landfill space, and by the year 2020, we will have to ship nearly 2 million tons of trash a year. Mass Recycle works to educate local residents on proper, environmentally safe ways to dispose of common and harmful waste such as household products which contain mercury. By joining and becoming a member, you pledge to reduce Massachusetts waste and work toward a more reusable future. Help and become a member today at massrecycle.org, where you can receive updates and be informed by our newsletter. During the 2011-2012 NHL season, former Philadelphia Flyer Scott Hartnell created the Hartnell Down Foundation. Along with the foundation, he started tweeting the hashtag HartnellDown, allowing fans to help track the number of times he fell per game. Every time he falls on the ice, he donates money to support 3 subjects important to him: hockey, children, and communities across the USA and Canada. The organization helps provide the funds needed for youth hockey players to attend the highly respected Minnesota Summer Hockey Camp. In addition, Hartnell created t-shirts, hats, hoodies, and other promotional items supporters can purchase. All proceeds go towards sending more athletes to the Minnesota Hockey Camp. For more information or to make a donation, visit www.hartnelldown.com. Growing up, he grew tired of seeing scholarships, grants, and financial aid given to those with perfect grades as though things seemed to have worked against him. He never wanted this to be the case again. These were the very thoughts of the founder of Limitless Tomorrow. He is famously known as Dr. Mike, who raised money by creating a raffle that would give one lucky donator a date night with him in New York. Doing this, he raised $91,000. Limitless Tomorrow's mission is to break financial barriers in order to empower capable and unique individuals to achieve their goals. The organization also wants to empower candidates to reach their full potential, explore the world, and conquer hardships. Today, I am encouraging you to not only donate to Limitless Tomorrow, but for students to apply for this amazing opportunity. Check out the application at limitlesstomorrow.org, closing March 4th, because it's time to reach success.